Hey there, you might find this information interesting. During this particular period of time, the iPhone's market share had a bit of a decline, so it is safe to say that its sales declined. In just 1 year, they went from a solid 58% of the market down to 46% of the market. The market share of Google Pixel, on the other hand, has been steadily increasing over the past few months and continues to do so. I think it's safe to say that it is currently holding strong at a respectable 12%. It's amazing to see how much that company has grown in a short amount of time. It's probably no secret that you're curious as to why Apple's sales are taking a hit, while Google is thriving and Apple is struggling. I would like to start with Apple, so let's take a closer look at it. There has been a lot of interest in the top 5 markets for Apple, and the United States leads the pack, followed by China, Japan, the United Kingdom, and India in the top 5. The point at which things get interesting is when we get to Japan. There is something interesting happening in the Japanese market at the moment. Apple's sales in Japan used to make up more than 50% of their overall market share in the country. In the year 2023, however, there was a shift, and their sales dropped to less than half of what they were. It would seem that this is quite a significant change, wouldn't it? Well, buckle up, because I've got a lot more to share with you. So, picture this. At the start of 2023, sales were looking pretty darn good, sitting comfortably at a solid 60%. The situation took a turn pretty fast, so hold on tight because we're in for a real treat. After just 3 months, they plummeted and dropped to less than of what they once were. This is a huge number, and it's not something they should take lightly. An astonishing loss of 14% in a matter of 3 months is a massive blow for any company. Let's now shift gears and put the spotlight on the Google Pixel smartphone. Back in 2021, it had a measly 2% market share. It is important not to underestimate the underdog because things started looking up once 2022 came around. By the end of the year, it made a big leap and jumped from 4% to 6%. What's more, by the start of 2023, it had climbed even higher, grabbing 9% of the market. Currently, it's at a respectable 12% market share by the end of 2023. There is no doubt that this may be a bit slower than some folks had anticipated in comparison to the iPhone, but hey, Google is making moves and carving out its own path for itself. Let's take a look at some interesting stats about the relationship between these two companies and see how they compare to each other. I'd like to share with you a juicy tidbit. The Japanese yen currency has been under a lot of pressure this year. It's quite surprising because over the past 5 years, it has only fallen twice in the past 5 years. In general, it was pretty stable for the remainder of the time. There is certainly no need to delve deep into the nitty-gritty of why the currency is on a downward trend, but it is important to realize that it is on a downward trajectory. It was in 2022 that Apple took a bold step and decided to increase the prices of its iPhones in an attempt to gain market share in Japan. They didn't just go for a small increase, they went for a larger one. They went over the top and raised the prices by a whopping 13% to a hefty 19%, which is a massive increase. There is no doubt that this is a significant jump. It is interesting to note that this entire currency falling situation actually ended up benefiting Google Pixel in the end. There was a time when Pixel phones were quite exclusive, and they were only available in a limited number of countries. Just 17 to be exact, as a matter of fact. There is no way Google is going to spread them worldwide. In other words, if someone is on the lookout for a Google Pixel, they can score one at seriously wallet-friendly prices in Japan. Why is this happening? What is the reason behind it? I believe one of the reasons for this is the fact that iPhones are notorious for being very expensive. I'm going to let you in on another juicy tidbit from a Seoul-based consultant. Japanese users are becoming more practical when it comes to buying a cell phone. It is apparent that they are taking things slowly, being cautious, and considering their options from a practical standpoint. The bottom line is that, in a nutshell, Google has been able to capture the Japanese mid-range market. I think that's some fantastic news for the Pixel phone. And let's not forget, of course, that there's always the good old American market to consider. Guess what company is standing tall in this quarter while all the other companies are experiencing negative growth numbers? You got it, Google Pixel. The company is soaring high with a staggering 59% growth rate, which is leaving all the other companies in the dust in comparison. Yes, it is the only one with positive sales growth, and it's a whopping 59% higher than the rest of them. We are witnessing the rise of the Google Pixel in the market, and Apple now has a formidable competitor to contend with in the smartphone market. If you're wondering what Samsung's position is in all of this, well, they're holding strong in the third spot as the third largest company by sales, boasting a solid 6% market share. There is a battle going on, and the smartphone market is getting hotter and hotter. I would like you to take a deeper look at this Oneplus story. A lot of buzz has been going around in the industry lately, and it seems like everyone is focusing their attention on OnePlus. There has been some interesting stuff being cooked up by the team, and it has everyone talking. In a nutshell, they have decided to follow Apple's lead and introduce their own version of the dynamic island, calling it the Fluid Cloud. However, let's keep it real here. The device doesn't quite live up to its name in the sense that it doesn't live up to Apple's dynamic island by any means. The move looks more like a copycat move if you ask me. In comparison to Apple's version of the dynamic island, this version does not have the same smooth fluid feel. The wow factor is missing from it. Having said that, it's always nice to know that there is room for improvement. It is definitely true that OnePlus has some work to do when it comes to implementing and animating this dynamic island. I think they need to step up their game and optimize this fluid cloud in order for it to look less weird and more impressive. Our fingers are crossed, and we're hoping that OnePlus will be able to bring some major improvements when this feature is officially launched. Hopefully, they will be able to turn up the heat and give us something that really impresses us. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Stay tuned for more exciting tech videos. See you in the next one.